and welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to be talking about favorite books and the books that have influenced me to become the person that I've become. They've had a lasting impact on my life. It has completely changed my view of the world, of life, and changed the projection of where my life is going to. And I really urge everyone to read these books. So let's get started. Right, and the first book that I've read, which I don't have it with me at the moment, it's a really old book and that got me started into this spiritual journey, spiritual path, is The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. That book is such a simple read that is sort of a simple introduction to being in the present moment and appreciating the beauty of the mundane, simplicities of life, to sit back and to just enjoy the present moment, enjoy everything that you're doing, whether you're cooking or whether you're having a coffee, you're sunbathing, just really enjoying the present moment without having thoughts about the future, about the past. It has taught me how to be in the present, how not to have thoughts, how to focus on the now. I recommend this as a starting point into spirituality, into this journey of self-discovery. Another good book of his is A New Earth. This one I have on my Kindle. Let me just read some notes from the book. If you're not in a state of either acceptance, enjoyment, or enthusiasm, look closely and you will find that you are creating suffering for yourself and others. It's about again accepting things that come into your life, to enjoy everything, to not rush things. It's just another great book to dive deeper into our purpose and the purpose of living, to finding that why. And another book and another writer that I really like is Michael A. Singer, and the next book is The Surrender Experiment. It's again a story about how once he got, I don't want to just explain too much, but it's a story about once he was traveling to Mexico, and because of different circumstances, he decided to just surrender to life and to accept everything that comes into his life instead of having some preconceptions or thoughts, likes and dislikes. It's just about surrendering completely and accepting everything that comes into your life, and then how his life changed and how he attracted all these things into his life just by surrendering and letting the intelligence, the universe, to bring what is meant for us. A quote from the book: "My experiment with surrender had taught me to always be present in the current moment and do my best to not allow any personal preferences to make decisions for me. Instead, I allowed the reality of life to determine where I was going." Again, it's about surrendering and accepting sort of the intelligence, the universe to guide you in your life, to not control the circumstances, to just let whatever is be. The next book, which I absolutely adored, it has really changed my perspective and my understanding of love. It's such a beautiful book. It's by Osho, Love, Freedom and Aloneness. This book has really changed my view on love. It helped me understand that love is about freedom. It's not about controlling a person. It's not expecting anything from it, to allow things be as they are. This book has taught me that you do not love for certain reasons. You love because you have so much love in you that it spreads to other people, and you love just because you're full of love. You don't love them because they're like that way, because they're this and that. You love because you are love. And it changed my thinking. You're doing good things for others, not to get anything in return. So you love not to get anything in return, not to get love in return, but you love just because you're so full of love. You're so full of happiness that it pours out of you. There's no reason for doing what you're doing just because it's full, so full. You're so full of it yourself that it pours out of you. So it's the same saying when they say you can't pour from an empty cup. It's all about you finding yourself. You love yourself so much. You understand yourself. You're okay with being alone. You're okay with being by yourself, and you love yourself so much that only then you can allow other people, you outpour your love that you have so much of. That has really changed my thinking. Like, I read the book and I'm recommending it to everyone, all my friends. And let me read some quotes from this book. After being in tune with your aloneness, you can relate. Then your relationship will bring great joys to you because it's not out of fear. Another quote of his: when you're absolutely happy in your aloneness, when you don't need the other at all, when the other is not a need, then you're capable of love. If the other is your need, you can only exploit, manipulate, dominate, but you cannot love. Like, that has really changed my idea of love. We love, we want to control that person. We say that the person is mine, and you're doing that because you're not happy, truly happy with yourself. It's all about firstly loving yourself. Only then you can allow other people in your life. I urge everyone to read the book. Speaking of love, the other book that has really opened my eyes because it helped me understand about my own attachment issues, and it's the book Attached. That book really explains the attachment theories, whether you're avoidant, whether you're securely attached, or whether you're anxious attached, or you're a mix of both. It has really helped me understand so much about my past relationships and just why I was acting the way I was acting, why other people were acting the way they were acting. It all comes to the attachment theories, attachment trauma from my childhood. So that book is a must. I recommend it for everyone, especially if you're getting into your first relationship or you're unhappy in your relationship. You just have to read the book. It just really explains about the attachment theories. I think that is all for today's video about my favorite books. I can tell you a lot more books. Maybe I'm gonna do another part to these series because I love reading. I think reading, it brings you more wisdom because you're reading works of someone that has done a lot of research, that has plenty years of experience, and you're reading that in one book. You're reading that in a few hours, in a few days, or in a few weeks, and you gain all that knowledge, and of course you become wiser, your worldview expands. I think reading makes you more intelligent. It helps you grow and you get a better understanding of the world and of yourself, especially if you read books that are thought-provoking. It's not necessarily has to be self-help or non-fiction. I've started reading classical literature, and that has again changed me completely as a person. I'm going to talk about classical literature, about the authors, and just how much of an influence they had in my life. I think my worldview and just my life changed like that, changed 180. I started reading Crime and Punishment by Fyodor Dostoevsky, and that book, I don't know what it is about it, just it really has changed my view on the world, of my life. It just, I don't know, it just changed me, and I can't wait to read more of his books, his works, and just dive deep into classical literature. So I think once you reach a certain point, I've read a lot of self-help books. I've been reading since, I'd say like since I was 14, 13 maybe. I dived into sort of self-help, so I read a lot of books, and after a certain point when you start reading a lot of self-help books, you sort of the same ideas start coming up, and you're like, okay, I kind of already know this, it's not really relevant to me anymore, because you kind of reach a different level. So this is what I felt. I wanted something more just deeper, something more difficult. So I dived into philosophy, and then from that I dived into classical literature. Just wanted something more difficult, and I've never been happier. As such, I was ready to reach that point. I'm ready in my life to start diving deep into this other world of reading, of literature. And that is it for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed, and if you have any good book recommendation that has changed your life, let me know down in the comments below. I really looking forward to reading to your suggestions, and I hope you have a great evening, day, or morning, and I see you in the next video.